moment, I'm also hoping she comes down to Earth and does like either a Fireworks Part 2 or E.T. Part 2. I think that's going to be, and I think, but let's stick on this point for 1 second, Kristen. I think one of the incredible parts about this crew is their ability to tell the story coming out of this in their own unique way. The way Gayle can go on TV and talk about it. Amanda can go and continue to advocate for women more broadly about it. The way Katy can sing about it, etc. The way Kerianne can produce films about it. That is what is so special about this crew in particular.
And that is what's so special about this new era of spaceflight. This is not NASA. This is not governments. It's not the U.S., China, or Russia. This is the commercial era. These are private companies, and this is Blue Origin sending the first all-female crew into space since 1963. And this is all going to happen so fast in just a few minutes, about 10 or 11 minutes from launch to landing. And don't worry, guys, I did the math. In case you're wondering, total duration of this mission is just about 3 Katy Perry fireworks songs. So play that song 3 times. That's how long this mission's going to be.
Fantastic. Well, so at T-minus 3 minutes to go until our 31st launch of New Shepard, our 11th human space flight. Just to tell you what's coming up here. At T-minus 2 minutes, we send the show over to the vehicle. It goes into autonomous mode.
Command engine controller ready to start.
We have our team, of course, in mission control that have their eyes glued to the screen there. There you goes, mission control, quiet and intense. There's one of our crew member 7's capsule communicator, Laura Stiles. She is communicating in the ear of our capsule, in the ears of our astronauts. But what we're going to see in the last 2 minutes, you'll see the fins at the base of the rocket gimbal or just move back and forth. We want to make sure they've got free range. At the base there, you see the nozzle, the engine peeking out. The engine as well is going to gimbal, going to move. Both in conjunction together, those two systems.
Propellant tanks to flight pressures.
Those two systems guide the rocket.
And when you are out there at this moment, this rocket feels like it is alive. It feels like it is a living, breathing, hissing thing, right?
And there's the gantry pulling back from the rocket.
2 minutes and counting. Transition to onboard hydraulic pumps.
And this right here is the moment that they've been training for. 2 days, becoming a crew, becoming a team.
After you go through an experience like this, it's more than a team. It's almost like a family. You are so tight to go through something as intense as this.
Executing aft fin built-in test.
And everything looking really good, Ariane.
So far from mission control, everything is clean and green for this launch. T-minus 1 minute to go here.
Engine thrust vector control built-in test in work. Vehicle is now on internal power.
So in a moment here, we'll see those, what they call the bit checks, the built-in test checks. As you mentioned, Kristen, inside the capsule, you know, as you said, this is like a bridled beast. This thing wants to take off.
Switch to onboard helium.
Here we go. Good luck and Godspeed, ladies. We're cheering you on from planet Earth.
Let's launch this rocket.
Thrust termination system is armed. Whew. T-minus 22 seconds and counting.
That is internal.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, command engine start, 2, 1, ignition. Liftoff. New Shepard has cleared the tower. Response looks good. Max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. Mach 1, vehicle is supersonic. Engine back up to full throttle.
Supersonic, we have passed through max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. That's when the vehicle, the stresses between the atmosphere and the speed are at their maximum. So to punch through that is so important. You see the BE3 engines is firing beautifully. You see the stream of steam behind it. Those ladies right now are having an incredible view on their way to space. Passing through 80,000 feet, 1,300 miles per hour. They're going to peak at about 2,300 miles an hour over Mach 3, 3 times the speed of sound. Shortly coming up, we'll have MECO, main engine cutoff. We will turn off the engine, but the two craft, the capsule and the booster, will continue their ascent to space.
Stand by, MECO.
And
there you saw the main engine is turned off. We're now going to separate the capsule from the booster, and at that point, Kristen, that's when all 6 astronauts are going to start to feel the weightlessness, and shortly thereafter, we're going to let them unbuckle.
And that right there is the most critical milestone of this whole ascent. Oprah watching her best friend go to space.
And the two craft is separated. 328,000 feet, 100 kilometers. Welcome to space, ladies, or shall I say, astronauts.
Oh, the moon! You guys, I will have to tell you, look at the moon. Look. Oh, my God! Oh, my God! Oh, my goddess! That's our pink moon. I love you, Jeff Bezos!
And just in case it wasn't clear, those are the astronauts. Those are their voices that you're hearing.
And there, they have hit apogee, the highest point in flight, well over 345,000 feet, well over the Kármán line.
Wow.
And at this moment, the astronauts have unstrapped from their seats. They are floating. They are weightless. They are experiencing zero-G for the very first time in their lives. And Katy Perry did say that she was going to sing in space. I'm waiting for it.
Waiting for it.
1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
So that is Capcom indicating a 1 minute warning for our astronauts to take in those last views before they get buckled back into their seats. At this point, both craft are descending already.
Wow, so peaceful up here.
And you hear
Dragon. Report status.
1, 2, 3, you're in.
Copy. Whip. Report status. Copy. All astronauts in seat.
And a great piece of news there. All astronauts are back in their seats. You see the two craft now. That on the bottom, that is the rocket that is screaming back down to Earth. The rocket will beat the capsule to its landing spot just 2 miles north of where it's taken off from. At the top of the rocket, you see a couple of fins that have popped out. Those are to stabilize the rocket as it comes into land. Shortly thereafter, you will see the drag brakes that deploy that will cut the speed of the rocket in half. And then in the last moments,
and there it is. We can see it from the stage.
There comes the rocket down. It's going to relight its engine. We're going to also see a sonic boom. We're going to hear that shortly here.
And remember, this is something that had never been done before until just a few years ago. Truly the stuff of science fiction that you're about to watch in just seconds.
Drag brakes.
Go. Woo! Sonic boom.
Engine relight. And booster touchdown, welcome home, New Shepard.
Picture perfect landing right there.
Picture perfect landing.
Right on target.
You see that dust kind of creates this dramatic cloud that reveals the beautiful rocket that has just taken these ladies up to space and back.
And I love the echo across the mountains. Is that what I was hearing there?
That's what
nice
you were hearing. You heard the sonic boom, then you heard the engine relight, and all of that reverberates in this big, beautiful valley in West Texas.
Stand by drogues. Stand by drogues.
All right, shortly here we're waiting to see the drogue parachutes deploy from the crew capsule. Those are like the guide parachutes. There go the drogue parachutes.
Just free falling right there until those drogues came out.
And then next will be the main parachutes that get pulled out.
Hear that screaming inside the capsule?
And all three parachutes reefing, and they will slowly inflate, slowing the capsule to a nice, smooth 10, 15 miles an hour. They are cruising back home.
3 good parachutes.
And I tell you, Kristen, from having gone through all of the simulations, I have gone through all of the training. They put you in the capsule that simulates all of this, including the sounds, and when you hear the motors of the parachutes pop out, that is the best moment in flight.
Because I know Blue Origin does everything they can to make this as safe as possible, and y'all have an impeccable safety record, but it still has to feel really good when you know that you're coming back to Earth with those parachutes fully deployed.
And we can see the capsule just over our shoulder here, going to be landing north and east of the launch pad, coming down softly and beautifully. 500 feet.
And you will see a puff of smoke when it touches down, a puff of dust. That's normal.
A puff of dust, last milliseconds, air cushion that will kick up the dust. It's a very soft landing despite the sporty perception. There it is.
Touchdown. Congratulations and welcome back to Earth. Do status check. Double shot.
Kristen, just some Incredible images there. The capsule.
Copy. Welcome back. Heather.
Nice. Let's wait for Aisha just a moment here. Make sure they're doing health checks in.
Beautiful. Dragon.
Yes, and as you heard it there, everybody seemed to be just as ecstatic to be back here, back on Earth. Everybody appears to be fine. Beautiful shot there of the capsule down in the desert. As we were just saying, it looks like a tough landing, but it is an air cushion in the last milliseconds that just makes it even softer. I will also note the parachutes landed very close to the capsule. That's just an indication that there's not very much wind out here today. A beautiful day for a launch and landing. A beautiful day to add 6 more names to the roster of astronauts that have been over the Kármán line into space. Carissa Thompson, what's the view from your road to recovery in the truck?
Oh my goodness, you guys, as I've told you, this is my first launch. So standing out here with family, that moment of watching the rocket and both incredible emotions, relief, excitement. You saw Oprah's emotion, Orlando Bloom, as I was walking into jump in the car to go meet everybody and recover, he was like pretty good. So I can only imagine how these astronauts, now that we can officially deem them astronauts, are going to feel. I can't wait to get their reaction. We are headed out there now. I will check back in with you as soon as I have them.
Sounds good, Carissa. And as everybody can see, she is those recovery crews are screaming out there. So we actually send them out as soon as we spot the capsule. And there's little Rose, Katie's daughter, who is just Daisy, excuse me, who is just seeing her mother go to space and come back. I'm sure she cannot wait to say hello. So, but as I was mentioning, the recovery crew is heading out there. We send them out as soon as we can see the crew capsule and spot the crew capsule descending. There will be at least 2 trucks that go out there. What you'll see is they will come around the capsule. We also have crew member 7 who's in there. She will run out, go around to each window, make sure that each astronaut is fine, and the recovery crews will safe the capsule before we exit the astronauts.
You know, it's hard to pick a favorite moment, right? Launch, landing, it's all good. But the moment coming up might be my absolute favorite, right? It's the moment the recovery team gets out there, then all the friends and family, and we get to see the astronauts emerge from the capsule, and we get to hear what they thought from the last, 10 minutes or so that they were up in space. And I think one of my favorite things that I've ever seen in covering space, certainly with Blue Origin, was that moment for William Shatner, Captain Kirk, as he emerged from the capsule. And this is exactly why you want to send people that are not just professional astronauts into space. What he said was so moving that day.
100% agree. But it's not just the astronauts that are here that are being moved by this event. We've got Tabitha that's with some of the friends and family out there. Tabitha, give me an update from the viewing platform.
I mean, not a dry eye in the stand, I tell you right now. Chloe, I just want to know from your perspective, that moment, what was it like?
I don't think I realized how emotional it was going to be, and I literally had chills all over my body from the second it launched until the moment I just saw it land. And it's sort of hard to explain because I don't think you would be that emotional, but it's incredible. It takes your breath away. And I feel like I have all this adrenaline and I'm just standing here.
Right? It's very true.
Same. It's really, first of all, we're so thrilled that the girls are safe and everything went so well. And so that's a relief because, I'm sure there's a lot of nerves up there, but to hear the girls screaming and having such
they said they saw the pink moon.
Yeah.
I heard the audio. I was like, that is the coolest thing. I cannot wait to get the footage from inside
and
to see
hear.
that.
I want to hear every little emotion that they had, and we can't wait to see the footage from inside.
What are the chances? The pink moon, the rocket launch. It's so exciting.
It's a great day.
It's been a pretty phenomenal day.
Great morning.
So when are you guys going up is the real question.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. But this made it a little more enticing, I will say. But I don't know. But I've learned to never say never.
Right.
That's what I learned.
You can go on behalf of the rest of us. But
thank you.
I think we'd all drag you off of the tarmac before we let you go up. But, I like you being an observer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we love being able to share this experience with you, and thank you for sharing how you feel out here with our audience. So it's been really, really incredible. So yeah, the emotions are high because it's so exciting and energizing. And gosh, Kristen, Ariane, I don't know what to say. I did cry. I didn't think I was going to cry, and I cried.
Tabitha, I love you putting them on the spot there. Chloe and Chris, are you guys going up?
Keeping up with the Kardashians in space. We're waiting for it. That's the all next all lady launch. Well, thank you so much, Tabitha, for that. And you could see that, you can hear that, you can hear from Tabitha. Even she is emotional and has tears in her eyes. When you're down here for one of these launches. And Carissa, when we get her back on the line, I'd love to hear her thoughts on this. The intensity and the energy and the emotion out here, even though you're in this remote place, but it all gathers here in this valley, and it's really intense. No matter how many times I've seen all 31 of our launches, it gets me every time.
Well, anytime somebody says, I don't get it, what's so exciting about space? Come to a launch. Come see a launch in person, and then you'll change your mind. And, I'm just, as we await the moment where these astronauts emerge from the capsule, I'm reminded of what William Shatner said on his mission. He said, "What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine. I hope I never recover from this." And I love that. I hope I never recover from what I just experienced. And one of the neat things about this is these women were not in space for several days where they had time to get acclimated to it. They only got 4 precious minutes of weightlessness. And so that high, that feeling of, ooh, I want more of whatever that was, is still so fresh. And you really get to see that when they step out of the capsule.
We catch our astronauts. I mean, their minds are still in the process of being blown when they come out of the capsule, and Carissa is going to capture those moments for us shortly here after we get our recovery crew. You see there some of the friends and family have already started lining up there, while the recovery crew, you've seen some images. As I mentioned, they're safing some of the systems on the capsule. We want to release all of the excess air and gas that created that nice air cushion. We'll remove the parachutes, make sure nothing gets tripped up. Also, we reuse those parachutes. And then crew member 7 will take the stairs up to the hatch. It's like a good 3.5-ish feet off the ground, so it just makes the getting out of the capsule that much more comfortable. Crew member 7, last but not least, crew member 7 will open the hatch, and we'll get to see one by one as these lady astronauts now exit the capsule.
And a lot of people are probably familiar with seeing, NASA astronauts or Russian cosmonauts emerge from a spacecraft after a long duration flight on stretchers or, glorified. They need some assistance because they've been exposed to zero-G for so long. Not these astronauts. They're not going to need any assistance. That's one of the beauties of a suborbital spaceflight. You feel great. You don't have to deal with space sickness, right?
Exactly. And that's, to that point, this flight, because you're basically going straight up and then over the Kármán line and straight back down. Some astronauts, I think you had mentioned your mother may have experienced a little sickness up there. You don't in this one because it's just once up and once down. And you get that nice zero-G floating sensation and you buckle back in. You don't have it's not as extreme.
So do you have an astronaut that you're looking forward to hearing from the most?
It's really hard to pick.
Yeah.
I have to say I'm a huge Katy Perry fan, so I'd love to see what her feelings are. Also, as a mother, our kids are close in age. What does that feel when you have young children? You saw her get so emotional in her pre-flight interview. Is she still is that still the weighing emotion, or is she still just, oh my God, I saw the stars, I saw the curvature of the earth? You know, what's going to come out of her mouth, but really her heart? When
and is that Jeff Bezos out there right by the capsule? Kind of hard to see.
That is correct. That is Jeff Bezos, our founder, on the left, as well as Sarah Knights, our crew member 7. And I just want to thank our viewers for joining us. NS-31, New Shepard's 31st mission to space, our 11th human space flight. From all parts of this flight, for the booster, for the capsule, for our astronauts, a completely successful flight, one of the smoothest flights we've had so far. And we're now just awaiting the opening of the hatch so we can get some views from our 6 new astronauts.
Phelps.
And I would imagine Lauren Sanchez in seat 1 will be coming out first.
That is correct. They'll go. She's in seat 1, which is next to the left, the left window there. She will go first. And then last in number 6 is Kerianne. That is the window on the right.
Shy Canyon.
You see those vans arriving. Those are friends and family.
And that's Kerianne looking out the window, in the window to the right there. Lauren Sanchez on the left, and you really get a sense for just how big these windows are. I mean, when you're inside this capsule, it's almost as though you're getting a full 360 panoramic view. One of the cool features of this capsule, the largest windows of any spacecraft.
So over a third of the surface area of this craft is windows, and that's on purpose. There were many meetings with our founder, Jeff Bezos, where our engineers brought him some windows. He said, nope, make them bigger. They come back. They said, nope, that's nice, but make them bigger. And what you get here, why is that so important? So many of our astronauts have said, when I got out of my seat, I looked at outside my window, and I turned around, and I looked at the other 5 windows, and my brain created a panoramic view, a panoramic photo of it, because so much of the capsule is windows, and it makes for just an incredible experience.
Sarah.
Good? Okay, here we go.
Here goes Jeff Bezos to open the hatch.
She didn't really close it again. Come on out, guys.
Yeah, of course.